Alright guys, this is John with Louisiana Tractor Works and Projects, and in today's video we are going to do a 50-hour review on the TYM T474 with Backhoe. Alright, before we get into that though, I just want, on a personal note, I just want to say, man, all the states east of us that these storms have been just wreaking havoc in, man, we're praying for y'all. Storms have been pretty nasty, so just know y'all are in our prayers. Alright guys, so let's get into this. Now, for the first time I took notes, and the reason I took notes because there's a lot to cover on this tractor. This tractor has a lot of features and there's a lot of things I want to talk about, all right, on this tractor. Though I'm trying to keep the video as short as possible. So that's why I didn't want to miss the important things. So I broke it up into 5 categories. The things I don't like, the things that I do like, the things I haven't done yet with it, the things that have improved as I worked it, and the things I love about it, all right? So yeah, let's do this. So we're going to go ahead and start with the things I don't like and get everybody upset right off the bat. Now, just joking, guys. All right, we're going to go over it, and it's not bad, but it is some things that, you know, people need to be aware of that's going to buy one of these. So, all right. So the first thing is, I just done the 50-hour service not too long on this thing, and let me tell you guys, that manual is sucks. Let me just be blunt with this. I'm going to be really, really blunt about this. Because I've read books that literally are thousands of years old, been translated from ancient languages into other languages, Latin and Greek, and then eventually worked its way to English that had less mistakes in it than this book does. Now, we are supposed to be more intelligent now than thousands of years ago. We have software now, spell check, we have you know, grammar programs and that. In my mind, there is no reason that this book should have the mistakes it has in there. There's mislabeling. They call it transmission oil, motor oil. You know, it's just full of mistakes. Sending you to pages. If you want to know, if you want more about this, go to this page. You go there. Has nothing to do with it. The page you're looking for is actually 3 or 4 pages down. It's just full of mistakes. Mislabeling. Some information not there. I spent 2.5 hours underneath this tractor with a flashlight to find the grease zerks underneath there because if it is in the book, I couldn't find it in the book. So it's not labeled in the book. So I found the grease zerks and I'm gonna point them out for anybody that has this model. Now I am only gonna go over the T474 shuttle shift with the Backhoe because that's what I have. I do not have an opinion on any other tractor that TYM makes because I have not been on one of them. So my opinion is strictly, and review is strictly about this model of tractor. All right, guys? So the next thing, boom float. I'm going to insert a video here, some video here about the boom float and what I found a problem with. Now, the boom float works good on the Backhoe, except for one issue. You can only go one way with it. And in the video I'm going to insert, you'll see why. It literally hits, when you put it into boom float, it hits the controller for the stabilizer, and you can't swing to the right if you're sitting on the Backhoe. You can only swing to the left. So I don't know what TYM needs to do about it, but I mean they really need to address that issue because having a half boom float feature is not having really a feature at all. If I have to reset my tractor to use it, yeah, I'm better off not even having it because basically it's useless. I'm not going to take the time to pull my outriggers up, my stabilizers up, move the tractor to the other side and all that just to swing boom float in. I'll use the bucket or whatever. So it's not very efficient like it is. And like I said, I'm going to insert a video. Now, let me be very clear about this. This is not necessarily a problem, okay? Factories build things, and what looks good on paper at the time in the practical world sometimes don't work out in the field. And these review videos really let them see how it don't work. So it's a good thing for these things, so they can get a vision and actually field test it and see what the issues are, so they can address them. You know, because hey, everybody makes a mistake. You miss something, you overlook something. Like I said, a design flaw. On paper it looks good, but in the real world it don't actually work. Okay, so I'm not knocking TYM about this. This is just one of the features. If I'm going to have boom float, I want to have boom float, not half boom float. All right. So the other thing is the Backhoe. A step. That Backhoe is high. A step on that Backhoe would be extremely nice. It is really high. but we're going to get into that because that's on another list, all right? So, no power on the backhoe. Yeah, okay, so I've worked on many backhoes, all kinds, commercial, tractor, 3-point setups, on old tractors, new tractors, compact, subcompact tractors, and that. This backhoe just don't seem to have it. Front end loader, not a problem. We're going to get into that. But the backhoe is weak. Now, is it a backhoe problem or is it a coupling problem? Well, I've talked to my dealer and we're going to get it in there and they're going to do some checking and see if they can figure out what the problem is, because it should not be, for the size of that backhoe, it should not be that weak. All right. So it should be a lot stronger backhoe. So it could be that we're not getting enough flow through the couplings. You know, I've seen that happen before. And my dealer even mentioned that they've had to change couplings on some of them because it just wasn't allowing the flow through the nipple. So we're gonna check it out and find out, and I will get back to you with the results on that. All right, so now that's all the stuff I don't like about the tractor so far. So now let's go over the things I haven't done with the tractor, so I can't give an opinion on or a review on. I haven't hooked up no 3-point implements to this tractor, so I don't know how smooth that goes yet. I haven't done that yet. I haven't hooked nothing to the PTO, so I don't know how smooth that engages and how well that works yet, or how well it pulls an implement, because I haven't pulled nothing behind it yet on the 3-point. So I don't have an opinion on that at all. Let's talk about the things that's gotten better. Now, any of you that's bought one of these, you know that the shifting linkage and the range linkage, and some of them the 3-point, when you first buy them, oh my God, whoo, you think you're gonna break them trying to move them. Very, very tight. In fact, the 3-point lever in the back was so tight the first time I tried to use it, I called my dealer because I was scared it was going to break something. And he told me, John, go in there, loosen this up, grease this up, and do this and that, and it's gotten a lot better. And the more you use it, the better it's gotten. I know some people have posted about having to loosen the linkage up on the shifters or the range shifter and greasing them up and getting them to work smooth. I think it's the paint, you know, that's built up in there when they paint them, or they just screw them on a little too tight from the factory. But the more I work it, the smoother it's getting, the better that is improving. So let's go over the things I do like, what I do like about this tractor. And when I say like, I like it, but there's an issue somewhere in there, so it's not in the love category. First thing is the height of that backhoe. I like the height, and I would have put it in the love category, except because it's so high and there's no step, it's a bit of a pain to climb up there and off and on and off and on, because you know me, I don't just sit on the backhoe all day. I'm up and down, off and on that thing 20, 30 times in a couple of hours. So yeah, it would have been in the love category, except that, you know, they really should do something with a step, or somebody should make one. All right, so, but I like it. I like being able to see down in my hoe. I like to be able to see when I hit something or feel something with my backhoe bucket. I can almost see, I can see down in there and see and kind of determine what it is. So I like that feature. Another one, ease of operation. All right, this thing is, for a shuttle shift, is actually very, very easy to operate, okay? One lever, forward, reverse, your gears, your range, and that. And all the levers are pretty much where you can reach. Everything's where you can get to it. Everything else is well labeled, well spaced, very reachable, very comfortable. I like that feature a lot. Ground clearance, yes. Like it when I have ground clearance. Even with the subframe on this thing for the backhoe, plenty of ground clearance, especially with the axles. And given that the front axle has the rack and pinion mounted to the front, having that height just protects that rack and pinion just a little bit more from bumping into something and damaging it. So I like the ground clearance on this thing a lot. Overall size and weight of the tractor, really like that. It's a very heavy tractor, which is a big plus, but not too heavy. I've done some work here recently by a lake, and the ground was really soft. But I mean, I sunk a little bit, but it never balled, all right? But also the size, it is, for its weight, it's still a fairly small tractor. And you can sneak it into some fairly tight positions. Third function control. All right, my dealer put the third function control on this thing, and let me tell you what, TYM really knocked it out of the park here. By going ahead and adding the buttons on the controller handle already for the third function, man, it works great. The line set, everything, they ran the factory setup, and the line set is clear, out of the way. You know, it's well done, like the the third function setup on this thing. It's really clean, really smooth. It operates really well. As well as all the hydraulics on this. It's very smooth on the hydraulics. Very impressive, all right? Now, one of the things I will mention, if you get one of these at first, you got to get used to the float on the bucket. It doesn't take much to bump your bucket into float. I mean, it's real easy. It's just a little forward, boom, she's in the float. You got to learn how much pressure to put on it when you're going forward with the controller, because you'll go right into float with it before you even know it. All right, now let's go over the things I love. All right, so the things I love about this tractor. Number one thing, and this is what sold me on the tractor when I went and looked at it the very first time, is when my dealer fired this thing up. The smooth running and the quietness of that diesel engine at high RPMs. I just love it. You know, when I went and looked at it, he fired it up, revved it up to 2,000 RPMs, and we stood right next to this tractor and had a conversation. Shocked me. It blew me away. Love it. It's very smooth running for a 4-cylinder diesel. I'm thoroughly impressed with the Coupe J engine in this thing. All right. Drivetrain power. This thing has got some drivetrain power. Once you learn your gears and you learn your range and which ones to put it in to do what you want done, yeah, she's got plenty of drivetrain power. Plenty of power making contact to the ground. Roomy platform. This platform has so much room in it. You do not feel cramped. All the controls are spread out. Everything's reachable, but yet you're not all crowded. Love it. Love the ease of getting on and off of it without worrying about hitting your knee on anything or anything like that. It's fantastic. So I love the roominess. And I imagine if you had a cab on it, it'd still be just as roomy. And that's a big plus for those who own a cab or want a cab. You know, you got a lot of room on that platform. All right. Comfortable seat. Oh my God. Let me tell you. I spent 10 hours on this thing on some very rough terrain. 10 hours. Got off one time. 10 hours. I adjusted that seat. I found that right adjustment, and it made such a world of difference. Love the seat. Very comfortable. Very, very springy, smooth and springy once you get it dialed in without being too bouncy in that or without being too hard. Really enjoyed it. It made the world of difference that last 6 hours on this tractor. All right. Yep, that covers pretty much it. All right, so I want to point out some things and talk about some other things about it. Okay, so the SSQA is really smooth and nice on this thing. It's easy to line up. It took a little practice, but once you get the practice down, it's easy to line up and switch from implement to implement. I like that a lot. I worked a grapple on this thing, and I mean, I worked a crud as a grapple on this thing, and the switching it back and forth to the forks, smooth. Love it. I can bring it right in, drop it in my shop, switch over, grab onto the other one. Really, really nice feature. Big handles, makes for plenty of room. Real easy flipping. You ain't got strain unless you got a bind on it. But if it's just flat and it's laid right, you just really easy to flip them over. So and locks really well. I haven't had one come unlocked on it. All right. So yeah, the loader. The power of this loader is just doggone impressive. Yeah, I was picking up trees and logs. Just huge logs, and it picked it up with no problem. I mean, no problem. And in fact, it was actually a little worrisome to me at first because the front end, the power steering has a dedicated pump to the power steering, and yet the weight on it was so hard that the power steering had a little bit of issue turning. I had to turn really slow because the tires, you could feel it in the tires trying to turn. Even while it's moving, you can feel that weight on the tires. The loader, the front end loader, picked it up with no problem. No problem at all. In fact, I've yet to grab onto something that it has not been able to pick up yet. So, not saying I ain't going to. I just haven't yet. So, all right. So over here, this. All right. So when I was doing them trees and that, it was real high brush and that, and a lot of sticks sticking out of the ground because all these trees were down, branches sticking out. Some of them were like iron rods sticking out of the ground because it was so buried so deep in that. This shield right here saved a lot of headache. Saved my valve, saved my lines. like the way they shielded it. They really stepped up. The only thing I would suggest to TYM is how they shielded it here. Might put a shield back here. Okay, it'd be nice. But given what it is, you know, it protected it. A couple times I heard clunk, and I looked, and there was a good sized limb that had snapped off, and it was just right here, and part of it broke off. Nothing got skint, scratched, scuffed, or nothing. So I really like that feature. All right. I like how easy the backhoe is, even with the subframe, how easy and fast you can get the backhoe off on this thing and back on it. It's real simple. It's really fast. I have not pulled the front end loader off of it yet. Have not had need to pull the front end loader off of it yet. So that's something I haven't done. But if it's anything like the backhoe, it should be fairly easy. Yes, and like I said, the platform, all this room, really. And I'm gonna tell y'all something too, guys. I was working in some inclines that was getting there like this, pulling up them big old trees, and I never had to engage that diff lock. The most I had to do was pop my four-wheel drive, get it up on the flat ground, take it out of four-wheel drive, and take off. I've yet to engage the diff lock on this thing. So that's really impressive. You know, but I do like the room that you get in this platform and that. Let's see. Yeah. So this is a 50-hour review, but to be honest with y'all, we are actually at, I think it's like 72 hours, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, 73.1. So we're just going to call this a 50-hour review, but it's actually 73.1. I did do the service at 51 hours. It was when I did the service. Like I said, this height is just amazing when you're digging. But a step, you know, if it's both to here and they widen this a little bit more on each side to give you something to step up on, would be really nice. These right here on this tractor, this is supposed to be where your grease zerks are. You pull these rubber plugs out, and your grease zerk's supposed to be in there. Maybe on hydrostat or some of the other models, but not on this one. These, just leave them. There's nothing in there. You pull them, there's nothing there. The grease zerk is actually right there. Okay? And there's one on the other side, and it's a little bit harder to get to, but it's not too bad. But it's on the other side. It's right here. And this is not in the book. I could not find this in the book. It's not labeled in the book if it is in the book. But I searched and found this one. The grease zerk up here for this one in the front also. And the grease zerk in the front over there is also not in the book. So like I said, I crawled underneath this thing with a flashlight for 2.5 hours to make sure I did not miss nothing. And so that's where they are located. Again, right here by your step, and then directly across on the other side of your tractor is the other one. And it looks just like this one. It's a 90 degree, but it's a little bit more tucked in behind the valve and that, so it's a little bit harder to get to. It's actually better to get to it from the bottom. You would think a tractor this size and this heavy with a 4-cylinder diesel, not a 3-cylinder diesel, would burn up a lot of fuel. And to me, it doesn't. It has been very, very fuel efficient. But look, if you're looking for a tractor, a utility tractor, compact tractor, pound for pound, apples to apples versus cost, I don't think you're going to get a much better deal than one of these. With the features that come standard on this tractor versus other tractors that you have to pay extra for, yeah, I don't think you're going to get much better. I am impressed so far with TYM, and at this point right now, I would say I would definitely buy this thing again without a second thought. Overall, given the small issues that I mentioned, it's been a really good tractor for the money. It really has, and I've been really impressed. And I do recommend, definitely, go and look at them, drive them, see if they'll let you play with it on the lot a little bit. I think you would also be impressed with it. But this is John with Louisiana Tractor Works and Projects, and I will catch y'all on the next one. God bless y'all, and y'all have a good week or weekend, whichever one it is when I get this up.